Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and welcome to the end of the Bigfoot reviews. I wasn't going to review every Bigfoot movie, especially since most of them turn out to be rants. I think what we can say is there's a lot of shitty Bigfoot movies. There's shitty horror Bigfoot movies, there's shitty documentary Bigfoot movies, there's shitty porn Bigfoot movies, and I'm like, I had enough, and I'm not watching anymore. Maybe one day. I know there's like Snow Beast, a remake of that film, and there's fucking lots of others. I know that, and I'm not watching all of them. What's funny is there was a director who wanted me to look at this film called The Letters from the Big Man, but I tried to message the guy back, and it's one of those things you message the guy back and it's contact lock, so can't message him. So if I can't message him, can't say anything. But yeah, Letters from the Bin Man, not sure. I saw the trailer, looked interesting, looked more like a drama. But no, I couldn't find any links, and I don't really have the money right now to spend on buying a movie I know nothing about. So unless there's a link, can't see that one. But who knows? Maybe one day I'll do this Bigfoot stuff again and get to the ones I didn't get to. But I figure so far, all the Bigfoot movies I reviewed, there's only a handful I liked. Creature from Black Lake, Night of the Demon from 1980, of course, Harry and the Hendersons. And I already reviewed this film twice before, but it's Bigfoot. Abominable. Which I love this cover. It's by Drew Struzan, who did Indiana Jones, Star Wars, great artist. And I love it because it's not just Photoshop, it's a painting. I miss these paintings. I wish posters would do these paintings more instead of Photoshop bullshit. But these paintings just look gorgeous. I mean, look, that just looks gorgeous. And that's cool. Harry Knowles from Cool News actually liked the movie. And this has good features. It has about 38-minute making of. Has a commentary with the right director. Has a couple other stuff too. But watching the making of, I can tell that Ryan Schifrin, who's actually the son of composer Lalo Schifrin, or Lalo Schifrin, I'm not sure how you pronounce him. And Lalo Schifrin, that's a composer that's done a lot of films. But for some reason, I want to make sure I don't get it wrong. Yep, that's right, the Dirty Harry films, that's what I thought. That's what I thought, like the Dirty Harry films. And this guy who directed this is the son of that composer, and he actually, Lalo Schifrin, composed this film as well. And like I was saying, you can tell from the making of, this guy is a fan. He says himself he's a fan of 80s horror films. He wanted to do a man in a suit. He missed, those kind of, R-rated man in a suit. You had your gore, you had your titties. He missed those kind of films. And I think this actually premiered on Sci-Fi. But this is one that was not SYFY. This was actual, see if you can't see it, but it says Sci-Fi Channel, not SYFY bullshit. This is probably one of the only ones, though, that premiered on there that I liked. One of the only ones that I really like. I think this film's underrated. Because this gets a 4.9 on IMDb. Lower than Texas Chainsaw 3D. That gets a 5.0. I'm sorry, Texas Chainsaw 3D, or as I call it, 3 dicks in your mouth. That film should not be higher than this movie. Okay? This is actually made by a guy who's a horror film fan and knows what the fuck he's doing. Not fucking Texas Chainsaw 3D. That got a fucking theatrical release. I guarantee that directors don't get fucking jobs. This guy, Ryan Schifrin, who I think did a good job, this film came out in 2005. He never got another job directing. Just short films, but never got another feature-length film. I know at one time there was a talk of a sequel. I'd be interested in seeing it, but that didn't happen. I don't know what the hell happened. It pisses me off. And it's pissing me off that Ryan Schifrin doesn't get another job, because I thought he did I saw a lot of Bigfoot movies. It was nice to see this again, because I think this is a good one. It's definitely the best horror film on a Bigfoot. And it's definitely, it's in my favorites along with Harry and Henriksen, it's of Bigfoots. To me, it's one of the only good ones, in my opinion. It just pisses me off that that director doesn't get jobs but some people who saw it do. And this film has a good cast. I mean, in small roles, you have Lance Henriksen, Jeffrey Combs, Paul Gleason, who's the principal on Breakfast Club, who's no longer with us, Rex Linn, who is in Cliffhanger with the bald guy with the mustache. They fucking Nate, where you're such an Nate. They're dirtbag like you. That's Rex Linn from Cliffhanger. Dee Wallace, who was in Cujo and E.T. And it stars this guy here, Matt McCoy, who I remember Hand That Rots the Cradle. I remember from a film called Deep Star 6 from back in the day. And pretty much what this film is, it's a real window, but dealing with a creature. In this instance, Bigfoot. And I like those rear window type of stories. I enjoy Disturbia. I enjoy Road Games with Stacy Keach. And I enjoy this film. Matt McCoy, who's this guy here, I thought he did a really good job. I thought he did a great job, in fact, in my opinion, where you really feel sorry for this guy. He's in a wheelchair. You get an idea that him and his love of his life were climbing, and something bad happened. She died, and he got paralyzed. And sometime later, and he's been brought back to this place nearby where it happened. And he's come back home. He doesn't really want to be there, but he has this asshole of a sort of male nurse. This guy, his character's supposed to be an asshole, so he played it well because he was an asshole. God, I don't even know what his name is. Shit. It's not in the back here. Oh well. But this guy is just a pure asshole. But he just was coming to him at the end. I will say that in a good fashion. But at the same time, you have these girls who go next door. And I thought the girls did fine. You don't get a lot of characterization, but I think that's the point, because most part we're seeing from Matt McCoy's point of view. Like, most of the film is from Matt McCoy's point of view. There's a little bit where it's not, but hell, that's when you get a little bit of Jeffrey Combs and Lance Henriksen, among others. I don't think I mentioned him, but yeah, Jeffrey Combs, if I didn't mention him before. But for the most part, Matt McCoy, you know, seeing these girls, dealing with this, being paralyzed, dealing with this asshole who's taking care of him for the weekend, or however long it is. Of course, strange things start happening. Phone lines are down. He's looking, because he's got nothing to do. And he's like wiping his binoculars, and while he's wiping, I like the way it's done, he's wiping, and you see just in the background something take this girl, and he's like, what? And looks and just sees the phone there. He tries to get help. He's unable to do that. You have another really good scene where he's looking and he sees like rustling in the bushes. Then he looks down and sees just this pair of eyes staring back at him. I really like how, I think it's very well done, well directed. And Matt McCoy does a great job where he slowly has this horrified look and slowly backs out with his wheelchair. And I love that he's talking to himself. He's like, you're not crazy. You saw something out there. You're not crazy. Well, you're all talking to yourself. So I thought Matt McCoy did a great job. How Lance Henriksen and Jeffrey Combs them get in is, at the very beginning, you have Rex Linn and Dee Wallace plays his wife, and they go out and find that their livestock are fucked up and practical gore remains. So later on, Rex Linn is now out there with Lance Henriksen, who's only in the film for a couple of minutes, but hey, I knew that going in. I mean, it's not like they lie on the poster, and it's not like they lie in the trailers and stuff, which I'm fine with. But Lance Henriksen's there, and then Jeffrey Combs, who's this character who has this oxygen tank with him. And Lance Henriksen tells this very funny story about Darwinism, and just have to see it. That was a pretty funny story. And Lance Henriksen follows some noise and sees that girl that was taken. Her guts are out. Then pretty much they get killed. It goes back to Matt McCoy, and he's trying to figure out what to do. Now, granted, one problem I could say is they do certain things in the script that is stupid. I will say that it's like, oh god, that's convenient that they did that stupid thing so that the plot goes on. I'll give you that. Like, one thing is, okay, the phone doesn't work, but he gets on a computer and he emails the police. Smart thing to do. But he says it's a creature. Now, of course, you're thinking, well, dude, why you say a creature? Of course, maybe he's scared, but, you know, it's like making excuses. Oh, he's scared and this. But at the same time, just say it's a psycho killer. Of course, the cops don't believe him. And Paul Gleason, which is funny, Paul Gleason in Breakfast Club has that famous line, you know, don't mess with the bowl, and that's on his cup. And Paul Gleason, again, he's in it for a little bit, that's fine. I also like the other guy. He has a small role, but he's an actor called Phil Morris. He's a black guy, and he doesn't die. But I liked him as well. He had a small role, but who knows, if there was a sequel, I wouldn't mind him being the lead. Like, okay, that'd be cool. That'd be interesting. A black guy in the lead of a horror film, Bigfoot horror film. And I thought the actor, even though it was small time, I thought he did a good job. I'd be fine with that. I wouldn't mind that for a sequel. Well, no, we're going to get fucking VHS 2. In my opinion, bullshit. That's just me, though. But the stuff that I like, for instance, you have this good scene. Well, I thought it was a good scene where he's fighting with this asshole, trying to take care of him. He looks right at the window, and the thing's right there, right in front. I like that little bit of business. But again, that whole stupid thing where, you know, just type it's a stalker, it's a prowler. But, you know, that's one thing in the script. I'm like, come on. Come on. This Matt McCoy character, I think, is smarter than that. Which is funny because later on, when the woman gets there, she actually does that. She's actually going to email the cops, and he even goes, don't say it's a creature. They won't believe you. And then she types in, you know, stalker. You know, it's a psycho. So I like that they actually did that the second time, but it's like, well, you should have done that the first time. But I like that they actually finally put that in there, but, you know, that's one of those, okay, I know it's like, can't have the cops come too soon, but hell, that'd be interesting. Let the cops come in, Bigfoot's like fucking them up, and he's like, holy shit, this guy not to be fucked with. But I like little references, but they don't do it to the point of nauseating bullshit. Like, he finds a knife, he's like, I'm going to need a bigger knife. But they don't do it to puke-inducing this. I thought they used the location they were at well enough. Again, the girls, you don't know much about them, but, you know, it was from his point of view, so it made sense. I thought the actresses were fine. They didn't annoy me. You have this woman, Tiffany Shepis, who, you know, you see a pair of titties, and nice. She has a nice death scene. Reminds me of The Blob from 1988, where the guy gets killed like a wishbone. Bigfoot, like, pulls her through the damn window. Again, like a wishbone. I like that death scene. When Bigfoot's going to town, like, he's watching. There's not much he can do. He's trying to help him, but, you know, he's in a wheelchair. He can't do much. Bigfoot, like, grabs a woman, pulls her down from the second floor to the first floor, rips her fucking neck, stomps one woman so her guts fly out. The asshole guy gets the best. He gets half his fucking face eaten. Practical effects. Practical effects. I mean, when I mean half his face, I mean like from here to here, like the whole thing. You see it, and I'm like, right, that guy deserved it. That's the best death scene in the movie, so that was really cool. I also liked a bit where, I liked the girl in this, the lead girl. I guess you call it the lead girl, Haley Joel. It was funny when I saw that name, I'm like, hey, Haley Joel Osment? But no, Haley Joel. I thought she did good, and I thought he gave a really good performance. Really good speech, as to say, Matt McCoy, about how, you know, I went through this, and we're scared, but hey, we're scared, that means we're alive, and we're going to survive the night, and I like the little speech he gives, and, you know, a lot of people on IMDb, they complain about that speech, it's too corny, it's goofy, it's not the right time. They also complain about the effects in this, the Bigfoot in this. I'm like, I'm fine with the Bigfoot in this, okay? Watch Assault of the Sasquatch. Watch all the other fucking Bigfoot movies. You know, I'll take this over the fucking glitch killer and all that shit. You know, I was fine with the effects. And overall, I really enjoy the movie. I like the effects in the film. I thought it was well directed. I thought Matt McCoy did a good job. Yeah, I have some problems with the script, especially that one scene I talked about. Also, I'm not the biggest fan of the score by Lalo Schifrin. I wasn't a big fan of the score. But overall, I think this is a damn good Bigfoot movie. If you want to know more, I did like 2 reviews of this film, so check those out. But either way, thanks for watching, and take care.